problem. I think in the US and maybe Western culture more broadly, we always feel this need to be the best and to have more and to continuously achieve and build with really no end. And I think that's kind of like a mentality that most of us share just because of the way that we're raised and things that happen around us. And it just creates this sense of like never doing enough, and a feeling that if you're resting, there might be some opportunity that you're missing out on. So I feel like that's really where it comes from.
All right, thanks for calling in, Valerie. Norm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, she's right. I think I don't even know if it's cultural anymore. I think it's literally everyone feeling so plugged in to everything all the time. Um, work, extracurriculars, that it almost feels impossible to be as like present as we once were, which is dark. And I feel like I feel that every day and like have to actively try it. Like my phone, I'm looking at it right now. Like it's just that ever present thing that it sucks that you have to talk to yourself to be like, all right, put it away. Like
it's a tough. It feels like you're not like allowed to like enjoy nothing now more than ever, and I think it's because maybe it's so easy to be doing something that it feels like so antithetical to like do nothing.
I mean, we're so accessible now. Like, I can, like, I don't know, your boss could call you or text you at any time of the day. You're getting emails all the time. It doesn't really matter, like, breaks or holidays. Now, like, everyone can get to you at all times. So there's, like, a higher pressure of, like, well, if these people are working or need answers, then like I have to also be on top of it to like match that energy and match that like.
I feel like because we can see everyone doing everything, that as soon as you dip into like I'm doing nothing, you're immediately comparing yourself to being like, oh man, I can see myself getting emails. There's people working right now. There's people doing stuff right now. Why am I not doing that? So it feels like we're not like allowed to rest because you're like, well, everyone else is working.
Yeah. And I also like am constantly reminding myself, because I know it's easy to get bummed out about how on the clock you feel all the time about shit, but like when you dial back and look at yourself, it's like think of how many outgoing things that you want to hear back on that you haven't heard back on, that you're like anxious to check in on. That like I don't know, I check myself a lot with it and struggle with it for sure, but it's tough to unplug. It's very
Where do you guys think that comes from? That like need, like how you were saying, like if everyone else is working, then I should be working too. Like, why do you feel that pressure? Because I kind of know what Haley does as a job, and I'm assuming you guys all kind of do similar things, and I'm more of an actor. And so for me, it's like keeping up with the industry and keeping up with always trying to produce something and create something and get visibility. But I'm curious, like, because you guys were talking about emails. So I'm like, where does that pressure to respond to all these emails come from? And like, why do you feel like you have to keep up with it all the time instead of just being like, you know, this is like my 2 hours of the day where I don't think about work?
Like you'll miss something.
Yeah, well, it's because like society wants you to contribute some way. Yeah. And if you have a job, even on a smaller scale, it's like people count on you. And if you're just off, you know what I mean? You might miss a few things. People get mad at you. You're just like.
I also think with like the like more entrepreneurship-y people, it's so fun because you're like, oh, I'm out of the 9 to 5 cycle, but then you're like, I'm only on now my cycle where I'm counting on me to make all these deliverables, make these clips, do XYZ, book this travel, like do these things. So like even if you're like, oh well, I don't have like a super traditional job, you still get stuck into like, well, I need to be productive.
If anything, not having the traditional 9 to 5 puts like an additional pressure on, like if you're working at a corporate job and they're like you have lunch at 1 and you're done at 6, go home and don't answer any other emails, then like you have like a bigger person like telling you to stop working. And when you're in these like I'm running my own business. I'm running my own brand or like whatever. Even like as an actor, you have to like consciously be like, you never stop grinding until you reach whatever level of success is success in your head. And like you could always be doing something. Like there is 100,000 things that you could be doing like at all times to like better that like career or the brand or the company or like whatever you want to be working
Jack,
on.
I'm gonna have you bring this up a bit. We're getting lots of messages in the chat, but you sound quiet.
How dare you?
Project your voice.
Yeah, I can project.
Stop resting.
Thank you, Submark Johnson 7753. Wes, what do you think? No.
As he's resting right now with a blanket in front of a fireplace.
The fire.
More restful.
Just noted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We got you.
Okay. Good. Just getting you. Yeah, I wonder if it's sort of a jealousy thing, really. Like, a lot of people are just absolutely swamped with work. And so they sit there and go, oh, you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing, dude? You should be grinding like me, grind set. But it's like everyone quietly wishes they were just at home hanging out or taking a break, you know. And some people do derive a lot of like meaning from their work and everything. But, you know, you just get burned out if you do it nonstop. And also, I think it's sort of a class thing as well, because if some rich person goes on vacation in the Alps for 2 months, not like this, so,
2 months.
then you know they're like that. It's like that's awesome, they earned it or whatever. But you know, somebody's working all the time just takes a day or two off. They're sort of driving for it.
I think it's also, I mean, kind of like what Haley said, the dark side of it is that comparison thing of like, if someone's outworking you, you feel like, fuck, why am I not working hard enough? Which is like super tough when you're always working and plugged in with it, to still feel that way. And if like accomplishments are what's driving that, that's like, man, tough to contend with. I feel like a big thing this, you know, I don't make like resolutions or anything, but this year I felt like prioritizing shit has been like the focus for whatever happens next, of just like, and like in a very respectful, you know, you need to work to live, you need all these things, but at the same time, and I feel like I've talked to you about it before, Jack, where it's like I go home and my parents are getting older, and that's like fucking with me. I'm like missing things with family and friends that, like, you know, in theory I could prioritize it and go back and do it, but I just feel obligated to do certain things above that, which I told myself I'd never let myself do, and I'm getting better at it. But it's just part of that whole working thing of just like, when do you allow yourself to give the time to like just give yourself time again? It's just tough. It's a battle, daily battle.
I think, and kind of back to the thing where it's just like, it does feel like the rest has become kind of almost like, it feels like it's a luxury. You're like, only the best of the best get to really enjoy themselves. But it's weird because as someone who works with a lot of people who are operating at the top of the level, I also feel like they have no idea how to rest.
Totally, for sure.
No, because you get to a point in like this like whatever grind set where like the taking the rest like feels wrong. Because if you're like, oh, like, okay, like I work whatever 9 to 6 and like one job, and then I like feel like I have to like do all this other stuff outside, like, you know, like all these other things like editing clips or doing whatever, like you have to do like writing if you are a writer, and all of these like self-motivated things in this like entrepreneurial world that like if you stop doing those things, you're like, I'm relaxing now, and like I'm like actively losing time and like money. Like, okay, like I'm whatever working, if you'd like look at it from a monetary perspective, every hour that you don't work, that you take off, then like you could be making money, which is maybe not the best way to look at things, but like, it's true.
But yeah, I think we all know now that nothing really lasts forever unless you're really on it all the time
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because you could fall off.
Like if you don't post for whatever like 2 days, like you lose your
That
algorithm.
fear of not,
Yeah.
sticking around.
Like you have to post 3
Yeah,
times a
that
day and you have
visibility.
to do all these things and like get out there, like go to the, like if you're a comedian, like you have to go to the comedy clubs at night and at least like show face and
All right, gee.
sorry.
I'll go more. My bad.
That's such a real shift though. Of like, when you first got here, the whole thing was like, if you're a comic, you had to be at the clubs, you had to hang and be seen and all that. And now it's like, if you're not seen on an Instagram live for 10 minutes, it's like, who is this guy? I haven't seen this guy.
Never
And the
seen
people
it.
saying I haven't seen that person aren't people that are like, I've been to the comedy club and they haven't looked down on their phone and seen this person, which is tough to like reckon with that being the new thing.
It
Like
sucks.
success, yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think like what are the like top reasons why it feels like we need to like constantly be doing like I'm trying to think of the right word here, but it's like it feels like we need to see you moving at like 65 miles an hour the entire time for you to feel like you're accomplishing or moving in the right direction. So it's like we like almost punish ourselves for like taking our foot off the gas, even though like we are more than entitled to rest.
Because you're watching people move past you,
Yeah.
going 75 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, and you're like, well, that should be me. Or like they're not as good at whatever I want to do, but they're just like waking up at 6 a.m. and working until like 10 p.m.
Do you think we care less about burnout now?
Yeah, there is no such thing as burnout.
Well, and I think it's that
Unless you have to go to a
universal-
mental hospital.
that universal feeling of like it's never enough. Like you can get everything you want and still on every level there's something else that you want or like could chase, and because of that you're willing, I mean most people that at least have found success not only out here but like in anything, it's like, I keep coming back to that mantra of like the only way it doesn't work out is if you stop. And that doesn't mean like go 100 million miles an hour, but like I definitely have that in the back of my mind of like have seen people stop, and there's a fear of that.
In a way, though, it's kind of like, not that it's like necessarily a good thing, but it is kind of like we have the entire world at our fingertips, and like these goals that like you never even would like imagine for yourself are now like happening for the people like around you, where you're like, it is like I could totally achieve these things if I don't stop, or like if I keep working, like as accessible and as like impossible everything feels, like it is possible. And these like goals that like in my head it's like, okay, you don't stop working until you reach like X level of like, this was my like goal, now I can take a break.
Sure.
It's kind of how I like attack life. And now those goals are like so much bigger than I like ever thought, because there's so many more opportunities through like this online world and like all of these different things, that it's like, why would you stop? Because now where you can go is 10 times farther than you ever thought you could.
Yeah, I think there's also a lot of societal pressure to like define success with your career, and using the goals you achieve in your career is what makes you successful, and seeing other
That's
people
valid.
achieve those goals is where that pressure comes in, and that need to like, well, if they're doing it, I need to do it. But I think it's much harder but more beneficial to take the step back and be like, well, what do I want from my life, rather than what do I want from my career, and how can I find success in my life? Is that being like a good partner, a good friend, a vacation, a travel? Like, I think that is the cycle I always end up in, is like viewing my success in my career or my lack of success as like my self-worth as a person.
Was Wes the one that said class was the right? I mean, that's huge too. I think you're right, because what you just said, I mean, specifically about, it goes back to priorities of how if my priority was, let's say, to be the healthiest person in 2026, then I would have to work very hard at my diet and my exercise, all those things that have nothing to do with busying yourself with work or professional obligations. It's like that's a personal thing, let's say. That still requires all the, like you would still feel like, man, I gotta work out 4 times a week.
There's always more.
So it's tough because it applies to everything across the board of like, you kind of, if you take your foot off the gas in any capacity, you could lose different things, not just professional.
It feels like we have literally no idea how to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, what was that girl, the OG girl on the voicemail? Like, that is a very Western culture thing.
But especially like it's so funny because like I remember my little brother is a doctor. He's always been such a high achiever, and I remember him traveling through South America, and him, like, the big thing for him was like, oh wow, they really don't give a shit about like who, like, what you do for work or what you're doing. It's just like that it's so secondary to who you are as a person. And I think it's more about like kind of the internal ranking of like importance of like what defines you. And I think if you're putting the things you do are the things that define you, then it feels impossible not to feel like you constantly need to do something because it's holding up your idea of who you think you are.
So then what if it's not the things that you do, then
it's just you.
Yeah, I think it's the way you interact with the
how
world.
does that how do you define who you are?
Your values. And I think for me, like, I define myself through my passions and my values and the way I treat people. And if I can achieve my goals there, then in my mind, like, that is success to me.
And I think because you can't put a money tag on that, people here are like, well, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
That's such a good point too, of like what you choose to spend all your time not resting on. Like, if you are this person that's like very empathetic, or you go out of your way to like be that good person, there's still crazy burnout in that.
Absolutely.
Which is like, yes, you feel great for doing all these things and it's the best and that's what you should be doing and giving back and everything, but at the mercy of personal relationships that start dwindling. Your focus on things around you being present is challenged constantly, and it's such a compromise of like, yeah, this question's scary, Jack.
Sorry.
Getting vulnerable.
It's also a societal pressure. Because society, if you make yourself better, I mean, society does benefit from you being a good friend and a good person and treating people right. But society is like, enough of all that. Just get back to work, make something that we can use, produce, like create value, and then, whatever, that'll make us money. Go invent something we can all use. And so it's like like Val said, it's a culture and like vibe that's forcing you into this work mentality instead of focusing on the things that might make you healthier and happier in your immediate vicinity, instead of like a much more zoomed out version of production value or value production.
Yeah. I guess we always, like, as people, and maybe like, yes, like it's harmful. And I don't know why I keep being like, yeah, it's bad, but but in a way, like, we as human beings, like, will put anybody or anything like before ourselves. And I think in a world that's like growing and changing so rapidly, like, most of us forget to put ourselves even like maybe in the top 10 because there's just so many other things and like relationships you want to upkeep and like your health, and like this idea of like doing nothing is like, but there's 100 things that I could be doing that aren't even necessarily like work or going for a run. Like I would rather go see my friends, or if a friend's having a bad day, then like if I have nothing to do, then like I'm obviously gonna go straight to that person.
Do you qualify that as rest though, or no?
It depends.
Because in my mind, like that, like doing nothing isn't my definition of rest. Like my definition of rest is like doing something that feeds my soul and that like makes me feel refreshed or re-energized afterwards, like that is how I find rest. And so I think when I started reframing like my mind to view rest like that, it became a lot easier to give myself that permission to rest and to like rejuvenate myself.
Damn.
Then is it easy though to like to start to be like, well, I'm doing these things for my soul, when maybe like really what your soul needs is like a break.
A job.
A job. Period.
Yeah, I think
That is also why it's so easy for me to rest right now.
I think we forgot about that. It was like, we need money.
Yeah,
We
totally.
need- Everything's so
Do.
expensive right now. You know?
Yeah, and to that
Rest
point,
do.
rest is like the best distraction of not working hard. Not like physical. Well, yeah, sleep is the shit too, but like not actively doing something else that takes your mind off of it is that like anything. Yeah, that I get your point of like defining what rest is to you is such a like crazy thought to have, because it is. Yeah, there's so many things. If you're doing something that's actively not the thing that you consider work, technically you are resting.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy.
So okay, I guess what do you think are the big temples of what rest is?
I like what Jack said about feeding your soul. I think it's hard when a lot of people are working towards like building a career that like is parallel to like something that feeds your soul. You know?
Yeah, I feel like the lines blur really hard if you become like your business.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, it's just helping me, but this is also helping my business, which is also helping my finances, but it's also. So I agree.
Do you feel like getting older though? Is rest becoming more or like less of a priority? Do you feel like you're running out of time to get these goals that you want, or more like I'm not chilling enough because I'm going too hard at this thing?
I think for me, it's becoming more of a priority.
Yeah.
Because I'm realizing I'm like, okay, well, I'm working this hard for what?
Right.
And it's to find more time to like enjoy myself and my time and like not like, oh, I'm working so hard so I have no time to be with my friends.
And do you feel like the outcome of not overextending yourself but working that hard is like, what is that success meter of like, this is why I worked hard? What is that thing?
Well, for me, I think it's just like, I mean, like we just went on a beautiful vacation in Mexico, and that was a clear like, this is why I grind my dick off all the time, is because I get to do stuff like this. Yeah. So that's, I feel like because of that like nice big reward, but it feels like that's another thing where rest has to feel earned.
Right.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, well, it feels like I'm not entitled to this unless I'm like putting in so much work to get there.
Right.
But like, isn't that a good thing? Shouldn't rest be earned? Like, are we just born deserving of rest?
I think we deserve rest.
So like, if there's someone who like does nothing but lay on their ass all day and they're like, but I'm resting, and they don't do anything to contribute to society or to the
Don't take away our dreams.
I mean, I think there's like a healthy balance to get to rest. I'm not advocating.
No.
I'm advocating for like sloth.
You know who you are.
It's me.
Cut to Wes in front of the fire. Hot cocoa. I don't know.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's go back. We want to figure out what are the temples of rest. What makes it rest?
Peace of mind.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Presence.
I'll hop in and just say I think it's anything that rejuvenates you.
Yeah.
So anything you do that you now feel more prepared to take on whatever it is you're taking on. Like, some people like you can even, rest before sleeping or something like that. So I don't know, it's something that takes you from, basically your batteries are lower, and then you do whatever whatever activity you do, and if you have higher batteries after that, then that could be considered rest.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, I mean, stillness. That's kind of like a big one for me. Like we're constantly, and not, I mean, physically, but just like shutting your brain down, turning it off. I feel like I'm not a reality TV guy outside of MTV's The Challenge for the last 20 years,
Real.
but like I feel like I understand everyone that loves reality like that, where it's just to not be like just
Brain
to not,
rot?
yeah, like just sit with it, sit with yourself. That's so, you know, I used to be a massive reader. Now I feel like my brain is checklisting 100,000 things at a time that I find myself reading the same page for 10 minutes and it's like fucked that that's happening. But it's the, you know, part of it. Yeah, so stillness is what I would say.
I like it.
Long time no see live streams.
Relaxing.
Clip that, clip
Relax.
that.
This is relaxing.
Just chill. Very chill.
Do you think? Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, maybe, and this isn't for everyone, but like having like actual fulfilling like relationships and conversations
Is relaxing.
is a version of like maybe it's not like necessarily relaxing, but I think that it's like rejuvenating.
Like connection.
In
Like I think
some
like
way.
genuine connection with like
Yeah.
people who make you feel like calm and at home and normal.
Yeah,
like,
and like
"This is
not
nice."
having like sort of like brain rotty conversations with real people. Like
Why are you
having
looking
like
at me?
no, I'm sorry. I was pointing at Norm for brain rot, and then I just like I got a little confused.
That's racist. No, I get that though.
But it's like I feel like there's such a big difference between the people that you like can have like real like conversations with versus like
Surface level.
yeah, those surface level conversations that I feel like are like everywhere now. Like I don't.
Do you think there's
like
a reason
talking
why
to people.
there's so many surfacey level conversations that you just interact with so much?
Yeah. I think especially in LA, like a lot of the times when I meet new people, it's often like I get stuck in this trap of like, are we having a genuine conversation or are you trying to get something from me? Or am I trying to get something from you for either my career or your career, especially in entertainment in LA?
And
like
you're actively taught to do that.
Yeah.
Networking is like-
So it's like, it becomes this like, the lines get blurred.
Do you feel like networking has been a predator to rest in LA?
Improper networking for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to like, you know, organically come to discussing and fellowshipping in a way. Like, I don't even think I knew what you did when we first met. And like, when I found out, it was cool that we didn't, you know, work wasn't really the first, even if it was a forced situation, it was just, there's ways to get to it without being like, what do you do? And the first question is, what do you do? That's when it's,
Well, I think that's like the ass backwards thing with LA that does drive me nuts is that it's just like I feel like I am such a person before I am my job. And I think a lot of people go into it being like I'm my job first and anything that I do like out and about is in service to that versus in service to me being a person and like enjoying another person's company.
I mean, that goes to like everyone's success and like who they are is defined by like what they do and what level of success they are. Like, I don't even think, because I agree, especially in LA, like these conversations are weird sometimes. But like when I like am talking to someone and it feels very obvious, like, okay, you're like trying to network in like a way that like isn't necessarily like probably the best way to do it, but it's like this is all like work is all that you have. Like it's all that you know to talk about like what you do. And it's because maybe that's all you do, like is work. Or those like I don't know, like those people who like I don't know. I'm done.
There's people that love it.
I'm done.
Those people,
thought we were
those people
about to
drive me
get some
insane.
Baby.
I was ready for it.
Even in the fun careers where it's like, oh, like, okay, like your job is to do stand-up comedy, and then it's like, oh, like not only is that your job, like that
It's
is
your only personality trait.
all you are. Like that's actually all you are. Like, can you talk about anything else? Do you like anything else? Are you interested in anything else? Do you know anyone else?
Right.
Like, how do you even do stand-up comedy if your whole life is stand-up comedy? Where do you go? You can't go
Where are
outside
you
to
pulling
write
experience
anything.
from?
Yeah, like what?
We're getting a live caller.
Oh yeah, perfect timing.
Hello, this is long time no see. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this is the other Wes.
Hey, Wes.
Hey!
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're awesome. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Just really quick, just some things for you guys to think about because you're just doing a wonderful job. One, you're making me realize that this is like really feels like a problem, like in LA. Because I know like my family back home, they don't necessarily have the same issue. But then when I start to think about why, to me, it's like affordability. We've commoditized our lives, right? And like to afford anything out here, you have to have like 7 different things. Like I need passive income. I need a side hustle for my side hustle. My hobbies need to make me money. Like I need to make sure that like I'm like totally doubling down on if I'm doing something, it needs to make money. So therefore rest is actually like driving me into the negative. If I rest, I'm poor, right? Like it just seems like a rich people. I think even Wes said it. Like it seems like a rich people privilege, like to be able to like take time. And then also, I just want to say that the irony is not lost on me that Wes is on vacation out with his friends. Like it's weird. Like it is.
I'm so in. I'm so in.
So yeah. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening and have fun.
Thanks for
Bye.
calling in, Wes. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Johnson.
Can we rank our favorite Wes's?
Yeah.
Did we only know 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your 1 and 2 between that call and
This will be easy.
But yeah, I think it's just like as people aren't making money, and now we're getting kind of forced into making money so many alternative ways. You're like, okay, well now when I'm home from work, I have to figure out how to make more money.
Because like if you rest, if you take a day to rest, what do? You go get your nails done, you go to the spa, you go get a massage, you go get a pedicure.
We rest different.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good point though. Like I feel like I end up spending money anytime I leave the house, unless I'm like going on a hike, but I have to drive there, and that costs gas money.
It feels free things feel like few and far between.
Yeah.
Especially now, I feel like there's been like an absolute. I feel like they're like pre-COVID, there were like way more like free shows, and like free things, and now just literally nothing.
Yeah, you can't afford to do a free show now. Like. Yeah, it's like what you said. Everything is like the cost of living is so expensive that like if you take a rest, not only does it like it's like a comparison thing, like like my friends are making more money than me or whatever, but then it's like okay, like now my friends want to go out to dinner and I can't.
Yeah.
Or like my friends want to go do this horseback riding. And nobody can go horseback riding. That's just maybe personal, though.
It's weird because like rest is supposed to be something that's so relaxing, but now feels almost punishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate spending money. Even when I'm doing something that I'm like enjoying, there's still that nagging voice at the back of my head being like, your bank account's getting lower and lower. Like rent's coming up. You have to fill your gas tank. Like there's just always money that has to be spent, and if you're not actively doubling the money you're spending, then it's just like
yeah, it like slips through your fingers, and then all of a sudden like the only rest you can do is when you're laying out on the street.
Oh.
Relaxation as a highway to homelessness.
Yeah.
Haley's hot take of the night.
Honestly, they don't look rested.
I think
going
that there
dancing
is a
is free.
distinction.
Go ahead, Wes.
I think there is a distinction to be made between relaxing and rest, because you might relax by having a beer or even like going out after work with some friends, having some beers and like getting chicken wings. I don't know if I would consider that rest, because I don't know if that's recharging your batteries. It might be sort of in a kind of mental way, but I think there is a distinction between relaxing and rest.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You're kind of saying sleep versus relaxing, right? Am I wrong there?
That's how I interpreted
Well, I
it.
mean, yes, yeah. But there's a difference between a nap and that you like need to take and like you must go to sleep or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so like we said the pillars of like rest are like rejuvenating.
Mm-hmm.
So then what are the pillars of relaxation? Or wait, yeah. Is that what we just said?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We're saying there's a difference between rest and relaxation. And I think like relaxation can take form in activities and doing things.
Yeah. Maybe that one's even more for your soul.
Mm-hmm. I think they're both for your soul.
Okay, valid.
I think those are things that are for you more than like anyone else. In a way that it doesn't serve a purpose outside of you. You know, like I'm not like in the ocean right now for my friend who's back home in Seattle. You know, you're like, I'm just doing this for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in those ways, relaxation and rest are similar.
It's like a Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
There's like
Yeah.
places where they overlap and there's places where they're separate.
I think like maybe rest in the way that Wes maybe described it is a little bit more like an internal, I'm sitting but like and being still.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's not maybe like I could argue that like my soul feels rejuvenated when we're out dancing until 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that that's necessarily restful.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, everyone defines shit
You
differently.
spitting
Right.
on that one.
All right, so I got homeless.
Go ahead, Norm.
No, I think that's right. I think like everyone has their definition for what rest is, which we've already talked about. But part of me feels like there are people that feel like you're being selfish when you are resting, which is like tough because you only can monitor yourself and your activities and what you're doing on a day to day. But I feel like that's that's the hardest part of overextending yourself, when you feel like other people think that you aren't working as hard as you are. And it goes back to the whole, that's what's triggering your brain of like, that's why I can't rest. I gotta show them I'm not resting. I'm putting everything in it. Like,
Yeah.
so there's part of that too, that the pressure thing, I think that you brought up, of just not just societal pressure, but like on yourself, I think becomes a much bigger conversation of like people that have mental health issues that go through that same, that it's just such a personal daily battle, I think, with defining what rest can be with you. And it sucks because when we were kids, I feel like you're taught like if you don't get 8 hours, you did it wrong. You're not rested at all. You didn't get 8. Like,
totally. And I feel like now, I don't know. It feels like it is unwinding a little bit, but I feel like there was a point where people were like bragging about how little sleep they get. Or you see those top people or whatever who are like, I only get 3 hours of sleep a day, and you're like, that sounds
awful.
literally horrible.
Yeah.
Are you like close to hospitalization? Like that can't be good.
Yeah.
I mean, there are like some CEOs that like eat like highly like condense like piles of mush.
Yeah.
Like once a day.
They're like, I'm optimizing my life.
Yes,
You're like,
they do say that.
Are like,
though.
are you? You're like, it looks horrible.
Like, yeah.
But I think
But that's
like,
optimizing
felt
what
that.
kind of life.
I think it's one of those things where it's just like I think we have a really hard time prioritizing or valuing rest,
Definitely.
and it's okay. So then I guess what in your mind do you guys think would ease that? And and it immediately comes to mind is like off of social media,
Yeah.
because that's an easy way to think that you need to do more, and then also like. But also, though, I do think that like a lot of people don't really, when you're resting, you don't feel like posting anything. So no one's posting them like I'm just resting. But I do feel like if someone was like,
Yeah.
if you stop more on there, like
Vlogs.
people are just resting, or like I'm texting my friends and they're like, I'm just taking today off, or hearing how Maria does her things where like Sundays she like unplugs or whatever. You're like, that is such good messaging to hear. That there's people doing it, and like you shouldn't be ashamed that you're taking time for yourself.
Like on Maria's note, that was like something. Hey Maria, that's like
Call in.
But that was like, yeah, call in. It was something that like we really like butted heads with, especially when we moved in together, because like I was like, what the hell? We have this whole day. Like, let's go fucking, let's go do stuff. Like, let's go do everything. And like, she was like, no, like, I will sit on this couch, you go. And when you come back, I'll be right here on the couch. And like, that has like slowly, like, kind of like, not like rubbed off in a way where it's like, there's nothing wrong with like sitting at home and doing nothing, or like, going outside maybe once to sit on the balcony. You know, like there's nothing wrong with taking a day to do that. And I think that we like have had that like very much ingrained that like if you sit at home all day and do nothing, like you are a loser incel.
Yeah, I think that actually I think
So
the theme that I keep hearing from this conversation is that comparison and competition are really what drives that pressure. And if you can take a step back to just be like, it's my life, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, that is where you will find the most rest and the most ease from that pressure. But when you're I don't know, comparing like success, or you're like always trying to get to that next level and nothing's ever good enough, or you're a CEO mushing up your food and sleeping for 3 hours, you know, like it always seems like when you start comparing yourself and your life and your joy to other people's, comparison is the thief of joy. Like that is like the
bar
mantra that always spins in my head when I start spiraling.
I think it is good. Yeah. Like you got to turn off your phone. Like not go on social media. Like turn off the phone. Don't make yourself accessible to people.
Brick up.
Yeah, like.
Are you all like super organized people? Like, are you good with time, like time management wise?
Time management, maybe no.
Class.
Organization, yeah, maybe.
I'm just asking because, like, as far as you talked, Jack, about what can you do to rest, and even the thought of that was like fatigue, or I'm like, fuck, this is work that I'm doing to figure out how to rest. But I asked it because it's like there are some people that are so regimented, Mark Wahlberg, of like day to day, this is what I do to the minute of what I do, and that's a full day, and there's rest built into that. But to me, like the idea of built-in daily regimented rest isn't true fucking like rest.
I agree. And I think I don't know if it has to come with it, but I think that like with rest comes joy. And I think joy is such a spontaneous thing. I think it's impossible. You can't force it. You really can't just be like, I'm having so much fun right now, and like it's gonna be awesome, like no matter what. Like it's just impossible. So I do think that the weird like regimented like, and this is where I like, this has to be from this time to this time, I think it's kind of weird and but I don't know though. I don't know for like, because I think about like how I like approach my like schedule day to day, and I feel like I'm very good about being like, okay, I'm gonna wake up and then these next 4 hours I'm just pushing into work, and then the next 2 hours I'm gonna just eat and I'm gonna go lay out in the sun, and whatever, if I have emails pile up, as soon as I'm off I'll get to it and I'll do the whole thing, but I'm not gonna like let that stuff fuck up my like rest time right now, which does feel like healthy.
Very. I'm shocked you can do that.
I think.
Go ahead, Wes.
I think that I might have like a more a narrower definition of rest than you guys, because like I said earlier, I sort of feel it's just something that makes you better for any task you're about to do. Learning a new language, doing 100 push-ups, driving across the country. You know, if you're doing activity like sleeping, you know, that's resting. That will make you better at all of those things. But I think that people are absolutely terrible at it now. People are bad at sleeping. People are bad at like just being still and actually like recuperating mentally and physically. And like I mean, it's, you know, sort of the whole conversation is like, why do we feel like we need to earn it? Like, so people are just, even when they should be going to sleep, which would help them and, you know, by extension society, they can't do it because they're so wired thinking about what they should be doing. It's weird. We're like literally bad at doing, you know, like you said, Jeff, bad at doing nothing. But we can't even like take ourselves out of such a stimulated like mode of being to just even do the most basic thing, which is recover for the next day.
And it's one of those things where it's just like, it even feels like the rest is so generous to everything else you're doing. Like it just gives into all the other stuff you want to do. Like for me, like I've learned that like for my like addiction issues and like when I get into bad headspaces or like when I really am in a bad relationship with myself is usually when I'm exhausted and I'm not getting good sleep. And so it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's so easy to deprioritize stuff like that because sleeping and resting gets in the way of the things I want to do. But it's like, well, now I'm doing all those things badly and I feel bad because I couldn't give any sort of like weight to actual rest. And and I feel like that's such a vicious and easy cycle to fall back into because you're like, I'm staying up to get all this done. I need to like, I want to do XYZ in the next like few weeks. And then you're like, okay, well now I feel like garbage and I'm now doing like a C-level thing because I just didn't rest. Yes, Haley?
Like the satisfaction that you get from being like, oh, like I got my 8 hours of sleep last night, but I didn't do X, Y, like, okay, like I have a running to-do list and you have a running to-do list, like that you're like, okay, like I didn't do like these 3 things that now like I know like going to bed, like I'm gonna have to wake up in the morning and do them, or I could just do them all right now. And yeah, okay, maybe you lose a few hours, but then the satisfaction that you wake up in the morning knowing like, at least I don't have to do those things, or like I got everything that I told myself I was going to get done today, like done. For me, like that, like dopamine hit is more rewarding than like having the extra sleep, because like the sleep isn't as good because it takes me like longer to fall asleep because I'm like laying awake being like, I have to, here's everything that I have to do. When I was younger, like I would cry because I couldn't fall asleep because I couldn't stop thinking. And I got out of that by making lists.
I'm with you.
But then you have to do the things on the list.
I think the flip side of that is, and it's again back to what I feel I struggle with daily, is I look forward to sleep because it's the escape from shit I have to do. And and I'll stay up even late to do all this shit, and then still, you know, with the however little sleep you get, I'm still like, God, I don't have to do anything right now. Like laying down thinking that, like, man, this is nice. But that's shitty. I should be able to just be like, man, that's why I could never nap. I'm not like a good napper. But like that would be incredibly helpful to just be like, man, this is my hour.
I'm gonna
today.
take a nap. Yeah.
And it's so funny when you hear of, the industry lunch hour being 1 to 2 or whatever. Like, when has it ever felt like a full? This is my,
But like at UTA, like it's everyone turns off the computer 1 to 2 and goes outside, like and like while like working there maybe wasn't necessarily for me. It was like it's like a very like it's a regimen, like it's a regimen break in the day. Like go outside. Everyone like goes for walks.
Sure.
And like goes and gets like a coffee and talks to their friends. So like not everyone in UTA does it, but like I would argue that probably like 85 to 90% of like the assistant coordinators like go take lunch and go like talk to people and lay outside in the sun.
Yeah.
And like have an hour to like banter. Like an hour's a long time in the middle of the workday.
We're getting a caller. We're actually calling back a caller. Hey, this is long time no see. May I ask who I'm speaking with?
Hi, this is Maria.
Oh, Maria! Hey, Maria. We'd love to hear what you're thinking.
Yeah, well, okay. To be completely honest with you, my thought came from a conversation you guys were having about 5 minutes ago, and then like I fucked up the live stream getting back, and like
It's okay.
I don't know what you're on right now. But what I was thinking about was Wes was bringing up his own personal definition of rest. And I found that interesting because you guys also were talking before. It seemed like you were sort of in a consensus that rest to you, not to get to the etymology of the word, but rest to all of you seems to be like a time for rejuvenation, as you keep saying, and like preparation, I guess. But to me, and I discussed my away days specifically, but to me, it's more like of an escape rather than a preparation. And I feel like that's how I've always kind of viewed rest and relaxation for me, which maybe is wrong. And like, maybe that's why I'll end up homeless, but
you'll be so rested though.
At least you'll be rested.
Those streets won't know.
You all have differing definitions, or if it's all like preparation, restoration to you.
It's a good
That's
question.
actually how I think I would define relaxation versus rest.
Like which
Or
one
rest is
though?
like-
Elaborate.
Yeah, rest is preparation. Yeah.
Elaborate, Len. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Relaxation can be an escape, but rest is like preparation. It's like a mode of
I
being.
like that.
Yeah, I like it. Well, thanks for calling in, Maria. We appreciate your listenership.
Yeah.
Love you, Maria.
Bye, Riri.
Take care.
Bye.
I like
I
that.
like her definition of rest, where it's like whatever I'm doing at this moment of time where I'm not working, it doesn't fuck up or affect anything I'm gonna do tomorrow with work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like your rest is maybe less of a like rejuvenation and more of a I'm going to escape this work and whatever the fuck happens.
Yes, totally. And I feel like for me, like when I do go on, I feel like, especially like since working here, like my idea of like vacation has changed so much. Like I feel like I used to be like in college or whatever, vacation, I'd be like, we're gonna do this, we're going out, we're doing this, we're gonna see this, we're gonna do this, and we're doing this. And then like the last like 5, 6, 7, whatever amount of years, 10 years now, I've been like, if I'm going on vacation, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I am gonna go and there's gonna be no itinerary. Like I'm gonna get up and we'll see what happens. Cause I feel like my life is so like by the calendar schedule, this, like I'm like, if once I unplug, I don't want to even be in that like headspace where it's like we have to be up at 8 o'clock to do this and then we're gonna do that. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I think a big key that unlocked my ability to rest was, and this is personal to me, obviously, because if you're a first responder or a firefighter, your shit that you're doing is fucking very important. But to me, it was always like I could acknowledge to myself that what I do on the grand scheme of things is very unimportant.
Yeah.
And it's important to other people, and I support that when it's appropriate to pour energy into supporting that. But on the grandest scheme of things, I don't let myself get bogged down. Very much the Eeyore of our friends, where I'm just like, this is it. This is the energy you're getting. But I'm internalizing everything and putting importance on things that deserve it. But I like being able to acknowledge what deserves, full energy versus it's just, I don't know, it's how I can not earn rest, but like feel okay with rest or
Like
time
tapping
away
into
from
that.
things. Because yeah, it's just there's so much other shit that is so much more important for a lot of us than what we put a lot of our energy into on a daily basis, and it just helps to like look at it.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and I think I think a lot of people find themselves so stressed out about what they're doing because they're just so zoomed in, and it's hard to think of anything else besides like the thing right in front of you. And I think even that zooming in makes the rest impossible because it feels so like outside of what you're comfortable doing or feeling.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest. I mean, you brought up a prior company that you work for that we will never name because why would you ever do that? But there are moments that like there are definitely people that make it hard for you to rest because they are a certain way towards the person that works under them, or there's people you'll work with that will make it very difficult for you to rest. So I understand the inability to on certain levels from certain people, but again, it's like practices, the idea of unplugging, the thing Maria does, like that's such a genius move of like, this is my day, like, and everybody's gonna know because I'm gonna keep talking about it, and that's what it is. And if I'm not valued enough when I am on the clock and doing the stuff to you, then like I gotta find a new situation. So
Yeah.
knowing your value during your working hours, not literal, but like when you're doing things, I think is a huge thing to, figure out what that is for yourself and have a respect for that for yourself, that you're doing enough.
And I think a humongous part of it is being able to have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really, really hard for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like if your boundary is just literally doing nothing, like this is the time for that, it feels so counterproductive or anything. So like, yeah, and I think boundaries are such a hard thing to keep up a lot of the time, and especially for something that doesn't feel valued, makes you feel insane.
Yeah.
And so you kind of let work, other things trample all over that time.
I think people also everyone has their own different like definitions of like this rest and relaxation and like what are valid boundaries. And then when you're in like a job where there is like one person that kind of like dictates your entire like 9 to 6 life, like if their definition of rest and relaxation is different, then like it's a really hard like boundary to set. Or if you like realize it later, then it's really hard to set it once like a precedent has already like started of like, now I'm accessible to you at 7 days a week at all times, and you expect things because like, I don't know, maybe like you take a rest from 3 to 7 p.m. in the middle of the week, but that's not like, nobody tells me that, like kind of vibe.
Yeah,
totally.
Man, yeah. It is. I mean, boundaries is such I feel like that's a whole other thing to discuss
because it's hard when you're like in a community of like in a corporate office or in like friend group when like someone like Maria is like, I'm taking Sunday and I will not leave the couch, and this is how I like rest, versus like me being like, but let's go to the beach, and like, I don't understand, you don't have anything to do today, why won't you go to the beach?
And it's difficult to express to those people that it's a personal thing. It's not like I don't want to work right now, I'm not going to work. It's I need this. I need to do to keep the train going that has been growing. Like, it's like the Rodman thing. You heard Dennis Rodman, that obviously a legend, but like he would need time away from the game, go blow it out in Vegas or whatever weekends, just to like, he'd tell the coach, I'll be back and I'm gonna still be this elite, but you got to give me my time. And they were like, fuck it, do that. So what I'm saying is we all need our Rodman weekend, and we should enact
All
that.
right, I'll come to Vegas with you. Twist my arm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the people who like really benefit from this sort of mentality of like, oh, you needed a rest. Well, that doesn't work for me. It's like big corporations and just like, I don't know, your bosses basically, you know,
Yeah.
Not some like super like liberal, but like the capitalist overlords are like, you have to be work. What do you mean you're not available at 4:30? Like I agreed, we all, aka, you know, the 12 CEOs in the country, agreed that you'll be available to us then. So I don't know, there's the lack of flexibility is like, you know, forced upon us because they decided before any of us were even born that, yeah, when you're going to be, here's when you work and here's when you rest. So sorry if you're a nocturnal person, you're getting screwed, and we'll all think you're lazy because you're not fitting into our exactly rigid idea of, you know, contributing to society.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like, I mean, and that's like I think just like the nature of work is obviously, it is the opposite of rest, relaxation. And at a time where work like proliferates every avenue of your life, of course you're going to see rest and relaxation go like further and further down the scale of like priorities and like what you need and want to do. So it's weird to me because then it goes back to, it's fun. I think we should just tag this onto the question we do in like 4 weeks. But what does like our day-to-day look like if AI is really going to take away lots of work? Like, do we feel like we're set up to be in a place where people will know what to do with themselves when there's no longer any work to do?
Yeah, but like, do we still have money?
I think it gets worse.
Yeah.
Why do you think it'd get worse?
Because then you just have to find like another thing. Because
So,
in
but
order
do you
to have
think-
rest, we need some sort of stability, and I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
doing that right now.
So I was just listening to someone talk about this, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, do you think that, because the people who do have this amount of leisure time that we're talking about in this utopia do exist, and it's like rich people and their families who have literally nothing to do.
Charities.
So like, what do you think? Like, so they obviously have been able to handle doing nothing. So we think in mass that's going to be a problem, or do we think is that because is that a humongous issue, or is that utopia?
Not at all. I don't think it is, and I think it would make I think it would make people way better at things. You know, if somebody didn't have to work, then they could be like nourishing their soul, and you know, like Jack was talking about earlier. I would be at every single one of my friends' things, all of their that they were doing as their hobbies, all of their plays, their nieces' dance recitals. You'd be, you know, because that's what you could be using your energy on instead of being too tired and being like, dang, I actually need this time to rest after working all day. I can't really go do those things, even though they might make me a better person and more fulfilled. Like I can't do it because I had to do the grind all day today so that I could have some money so that I could pay my rent, you know, whatever. So, I mean, I like to think that people would go out and find meaning. Sure, there's going to be a couple of people that sit around and do nothing, but those people already exist. I mean,
I guess it depends on what profession you.
Yeah.
It's a global conversation.
Like, what if your profession is fulfilling in its own way, or like, and then if AI like takes that away, then like you lose such a huge part of like your mental stimulation and the way that you like
I think we're
grow your intelligence.
I think we're in such a weird spot because I do think that like there is, because I wonder what percentage of people do you think are working in an avenue that brings them the fulfillment and life juice that they want.
12%.
It's got to be minuscule. So
it's no.
So, but that's the thing. So then it's just like then we're freeing up the majority who are just grinding away at some job they hate to being like, now you can do whatever you want
Also,
to do.
those people
but do
can
those
still
people
do it.
get money?
If
Like-
you love your job so much you would do it for free, you can still do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if AI takes it away or whatever, you can do it for leisure. It's basically a hobby at that point.
Yeah, but like, isn't part of like the excitement of like let's say you're like a writer and AI can now AI can write books and scripts and whatever. Like, yeah, you can still do it, but then when there's like a machine that's doing it faster and probably better, like nobody will buy your stuff, nobody will read your stuff. Like, part of why you like create is to like share it with the world.
Yeah, wasn't that the goal in the first place?
Yeah, so like AI's
you can
taking
still
that
do it, you just won't need to.
Yeah.
It's scary too. I mean, it's thinking about the idea of education too. I'm now getting into, because if, I feel like now more than ever, you hear people talking about, you don't need college anymore to do anything. Like, no, don't go. It's a waste of money and all that. But if this happened and AI did, introduce itself, and I think there would be so much power in educating people on how to harness now what the new world looks like. Like, that would be so important to the development of how we operate as a society.
like all of those people like who are working these jobs that they hate then like should go back to school and do a job that like fulfills them, or like find a way to harness AI. But this like idea of like, oh, let's all just like rest and hang out with our friends all day, like that doesn't like, that turns everybody into like the characters from WALL-E.
Yeah.
Like those are all fat.
We got a comment from at How's your day going? That we'll be finding time to search for purpose.
Yeah.
And I think we're giving everyone that by freeing you up from like having to be like financially like a slave to your job.
But if AI does that, who's saying that all those people are financially like gonna be okay?
Yeah, when you just become like financially dependent on another job.
Yeah, because the whole point was.
Well, it's okay. I'm thinking of UBI. Like all of a sudden you're getting like $10,000 into your bank account every day because there's no jobs.
Who said that? Who?
That's the game we're playing. That's the game we're playing now. That's the game. I'm not saying we're all homeless.
Okay.
This is good future. We're thinking good future. We're sorry.
But if you're giving everybody $10,000 a day to like spend it as they want, like, I mean, you have a lot of faith in humanity.
That's it. And I go back to
But do you let people just go homeless?
No, you make them go to school again.
Yeah.
For what?
For anything, like you.
For what? The AI took up jobs.
But like AI took the jobs that we have now, so then you go to school to create new jobs.
Would it be lawless like that, or would you have like you will get your stipend if you do a good deed? Like, are there going to be rules to it?
Okay, for this game we're playing, you're getting $10K a month, no questions.
No question.
Then,
it's just like you welcome to like Amazon does everything, so we don't need anyone.
I mean, then yeah, I'd continue what I was doing for free, I guess, because I'd have a fun time doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just think that there is such a, and like maybe this just goes back to like the dopamine hit of like, oh, like I have this problem, I need to figure it out. It like in my job, like how am I gonna move up to the next level? Like how am I gonna get promoted? How am I gonna like build like a brand for like myself and all those things? Like a lot of those successes are like marked by getting like, oh, a pay raise, or like now I'm not in the negative.
Wouldn't you feel freed?
I think
no, it's too much freedom.
$10K a month. I don't know.
The ugly side of it is
that's a lot of stability.
It makes you slow down. I guess it makes you slow down.
But the bummer is
But is that a problem?
It's a problem for the wealthy that go, but how do I get $11,000 a month? And they'll do whatever it takes to get, it'll keep, everyone always wants better than someone else. So I think it would get dark.
Like if we as like a whole society slowed, like, I don't know. I don't know that that's a good thing if we all slow down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that, I feel like
But
that
I feel like you
perpetuates
really-
laziness and procrastination.
But I feel like you go to other countries where, like, it is way more affordable because there's just not that much money going around, but you're just chilling.
Yeah,
Those people are so happy.
For sure.
it's true.
And you're not like, well, you know what would make them way happier is if they have paved roads and had to pay higher taxes.
But if you told all those people like, okay, maybe you have to pay higher taxes and like then you'll get like paved roads and like prestigious like schools or like you know, like whatever. I'm not saying gentrifying, but like that is what I was gonna describe. And like you're like, but if you all work, like if you work a little harder together, we can make this happen. Like have some motivation and like
It's
a
that
little
But do you think
fire
that's
under your
but do you
ass
think
and, like-
that's just like pure Western culture that's like you need to achieve more, you need to be
Yes.
doing better than your neighbors, you need to be so like I feel like you eliminate that and then you go like you see other countries where people aren't stressed out that their neighbor is like a chicken, you know, they're like whatever, who gives a shit that I'm like it's not they're not even living in squalor, you know, like
Right.
going over and pretending like you're in a shithole country is delusional.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we're so geared in to being like everything has to advance to the highest possible version
Yeah.
or else it's garbage. And if you're not living like this, you have no idea what you're doing. But I think it's just like it's like the trap of the West where it's just like this is what progress looks like. And all progress is good and makes everything better.
Well, I think that's like it's almost like an addicting kind of like
Absolutely,
thing of
I
like,
agree.
well, I did this, so now I know that I can do this, so I can do this now, and like let me just keep working and working and working until I get here, and like
And some people are equipped and some aren't. I think you
Yeah.
hand people that responsibility and you're going to get a lot of people that are going to know exactly what to do and change everything for the better and all that. But you're going to get the other half that fuck this up for a lot of people. And I think it's going to be impossible to find a level playing ground amongst everyone by introducing that. I think it's just not. I don't know how we get to like everyone's like, all right, we're here and this is how it is now. Let's go. It's just.
Then what do you think? Okay, so then what do you think what is utopia in the States?
Sorry, Jack. Can we just hop back to the
Yeah, of course.
UBI thing? Well, so you brought up earlier, like, what if people want to make 11,000 a year or whatever? The thing is, they're fine to do that if that's their prerogative. Like, they don't have to do that. But if they're like, oh, I do want to have bet more than the basic like 120K a year thing, I'm going to spend my time whatever fighting for money. But then it's like everyone's still taken care of. So if you want to do even fancier stuff and have a boat, even though 120K doesn't get you a boat, then you're allowed to do that. But somebody that now is like that gets 120K a year doesn't have to work some job that's demeaning. Basically, some jobs are like dehumanizing and even dangerous, and shorten your life and stuff. And then also back to the question of like, will you be able to derive meaning without having a vocation? Having work, because a lot of people do derive value from their work. I mean, we've basically been running this experiment for all of history with wealthy people. That's like what aristocrats are. Right? They never have to work. And so do they have meaningless lives? Their needs taken care of. So what do they do with that time? They tend to, like, go to school, like you said, even. They tend to be, sometimes they do the whatever Rockefeller thing where they just like blow the entire, generational wealth by just throwing too extravagant parties. But a lot of them, went on to do like different science projects, public works practice. Not anymore, but they spent their time sort of doing whatever they want. They could research. Maybe you could major in philosophy instead of business if you did, if that was something you wanted to do.
Yeah. They run charities, those guys. That's all they do. So you don't have to pay taxes.
Supposedly, yeah.
Allegedly?
No, I agree. I think that it kind of, it goes right back into, so it's just like, so if we're what is true progress? What's the ideal situation we find ourselves in with the states if it's not freedom from like having to like be stuck in some sort of like doing things you don't want to do because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we have this UTI thing where everyone gets UBI, where everybody gets $10,000 a month, then doesn't the cost of living, won't it all just go up, and you'll still need to have a job, and those jobs will be different, but like the minimum wage job
but
is
why
just
would
be
why
higher.
would there be? I'm just trying to think this through. Why would there be, if all your needs are getting met? Look, the government is now making sure your needs are met. You can afford food. You can afford a place to live.
You're saying why is that?
So the
not
cost
enough?
of living won't go up?
So yeah, let's say you could, like, this UBI really does, it covers it. You just don't. You're like, I don't have to work now.
I don't think people do anything.
Yeah,
I think most people will get so lazy.
Yeah.
And probably most people won't leave their houses because most of the time people leave their houses to like go to work.
Yeah,
would you? I mean, would you do nothing?
No, I would probably keep it.
Would you not go out sailing, exploring?
Yeah.
Me personally.
I mean, that's
sure.
But like,
that's where my mind goes, is that like you have such a pessimistic look where you're like, I think everyone's just gonna be fucking lazy.
Yeah,
but I think it would give people a chance to follow their passions, and maybe I think there's a large amount of society who, amount of people in society who have sacrificed their passions and things that bring them joy to pursue a career that will make them money.
Of course.
And I think if we don't have a reliance on finance and money, and it's like you literally don't have to worry about money. There's not a single thing that you have to worry about. I think, there would be periods of boredom, but I think it would also, for me, give me the opportunity to travel and like experience other cultures and like just create just for the sake of creating and making art and not for the sake of money or a career or whatever,
I also think to play devil's advocate, because this is such a loaded fucking thing to talk about, but like there's obviously the perfect world situation where it works and everyone acknowledges we did it, it's here, like we can all enjoy life now. I just think if you strip away, look, I'm sure you could add up the years of work that you do over a lifetime, and it's a significant amount, probably more than you sleep or whatever. And we get a lot out of that. We build our interpersonal skills. We build our actual talents and abilities, and you figure out what you can do, what you're good at, what you're not good at. And if you take that away, I think you start alienating people. You get people that just won't even talk to each other anymore, because now I'm sitting in my mansion. I have the best, movie theater in my neighborhood, and I'm watching I got everything I want. Why do I need to go outside? I don't have to do shit. I don't have to talk to anyone anymore. That to me is like as someone that likes community and that place a lot of importance on community and friends and fellowship, the idea of stripping that away to me is such a fucking gamble to think about.
But do you think that it feels like, do you feel like that sense of community and stuff that you're getting from your job is a luxury because you're doing something you really give a shit about?
I just think it's the reality. I don't know if it's a luxury.
But I feel like because if I told someone who is like worked in a coal mine, like, you don't have to do this anymore, they're not going to be like, my sense of community's gone now.
But they still need to do that now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But we have robots coal mining.
Oh, you got.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like we figured out how to do everything.
Labor's gone.
Yeah,
Like,
labor's
manual
not
labor is
gone.
gone?
It's just like truly gone.
Jack, you worked in a coffee shop. You hated it. Did you not still have like a sense of community like was part of the reason why you worked there probably way longer than you should have
Okay.
because of because of the community that you have built there, and like even if you like hate the actual job, like you like are forced to meet people and like forced to talk to people and forced out of your comfort zone. Like if we're giving these people an opportunity to like stay in their comfort zone forever, like no, like go get some exercise in the coal mine.
We forget in this that not we forget in this that not everybody is talented. You know what I mean? We don't need these open mics longer than
10-hour long open mics.
How many museums, art museums do we need? You know, it's like
yeah, actually, like not everyone should be okay.
And I hear you. I hear you on what you're saying too. And I think I didn't mean to place the importance on like stripping work away.
Yeah.
I'm saying I believe community in general falls by the wayside if you go, you don't have to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like a fucked up thought that like, oh, I could lose this thing that I love so much to do. I love being with people and doing things all because I'm supposed to be pumped that now I can do whatever I want. Like it's such a give and take.
Kind of like a COVID situation.
Do you think?
Can I ask really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Why do you think? Where's this idea coming from you two that nobody will ever do anything? Would you do nothing? Would you never hang out with your friends?
Like if you told me,
like,
yeah.
We're just getting rid of the labor part. We will still do stuff. Like would you would, right? So
I would. I would hope.
But these people, whoever like that is, like says, maybe some people will, but almost everyone would go out and do interesting, fun stuff that they wouldn't have been able to do before. Everyone would travel and learn an instrument, play tennis, learn how to cook. Like now they're unencumbered by, like you said, more time than we sleep in our life doing stuff we don't want to. And there are some minimal, positive externalities from these like grueling jobs, which is like, hey, like you're suffering through this lame ass 4 a.m. coffee shift with a buddy, and you're both equally, bummed by it. So now you become friends, but you can make friends doing things you enjoy doing, like rock climbing.
Like, but Wes, you're talking about the types of people who are naturally self-motivated to go like better themselves or better the world. That is not, and I don't mean to be pessimistic, but like that is not the majority of the world. It's like that, especially like. And
see, I feel like I disagree with you so
wholeheartedly. Okay, go crazy, go crazy.
I mean, also we're definitely understating how like unmotivating and depressing and like crippling a bad job can be. It's like life ruining. You know? So to say that they would go from that terrible job to just sitting at home and their life would be even worse is like, it's just a wild claim. And
well, I'm not saying their life would be worse.
Adventures and be interesting people. Like, do you think the majority of people would sit at home and do nothing? Would you do nothing?
Well, I don't.
Anyone really stay at home and do nothing?
I don't necessarily. I don't think it's do nothing. I don't
think it's do nothing.
It's
either.
the community thing. It's the if you told me I could be rich tomorrow and it's never gonna stop, I'd be less inclined to feel obligated to do societal things that I enjoy doing. And that scares me because I love doing things with people actively. And I think that would be, if not diminished, significantly reduced because that friend that you did that thing with on a weekly basis would be less inclined to be like, yeah, dude, let's go do that thing. They'd be like, no, I'm going to fucking Saint-Tropez without you tomorrow, and I'll see you when I see you.
But
maybe.
wouldn't they be hitting you with the "Let's go Saint-Tropez together"? Yeah,
you would. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. But I don't know. Like, I think people's like true inner selves would come out. I think you'd find out quick.
Yeah,
like
because then if everybody's with their own community, you're kind of like stuck in like a little like. It would be nice to see Jack at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he makes my coffee. We have a good conversation. That's kind of nice. I feel like that would happen maybe.
But I feel like if you love coffee and love making coffee and you're like, I just want to make some extra cash, you'd work at the coffee shop and you'd get to interact with
I don't think
Oh, you
so.
can still
I think
work.
I don't
I
think
think
you
you'd
would at
fucking
all.
The
invent
rules are changing.
someone to
we
make
can
it.
work, we can work.
You can
You'd
make
have
more
a-
money on coffee money.
Oh, now we can work.
I guess I'm not saying that like these people like are gonna go inside.
people.
Like I'm not saying
saying that. These people.
I'm not saying that they're gonna do nothing. I just
You
like,
lazy.
but like I do think like if you were to be like, all right, you have unlimited money, like you don't have to go to work, like I would probably spend like, like I don't know, at least a few days like by myself, like doing nothing. And like I definitely know people who would spend more than a few days being like, fuck, like I don't have to go outside, like I don't have to do this, I don't have to talk to people. Like, yeah, 1,000%, like I'm not gonna go outside.
That's
and
another
do these
important thing.
things.
It's like everyone's rich now or whatever and gets to do what they want to do. So if I do want the big house, I want to build my perfect thing, I'm going to be spending all this time doing that. You're probably going to do the same thing, and we're not going to see each other because you're building your perfect thing. I'm building my perfect. We're not going to be like, let's take an hour a day and talk about how perfect our shit is, man. Like, and that's not
But okay,
great
so
community.
I think this is, I feel like this backs into the idea that like friction and like difficulties and like hard times are like what gives meaning to life. Right? Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
So, but by eliminating this area of like being hard or whatever, that being like you have to like work hard to make money, or you might have to give up most of your life to something horrible that you hate, but you need money and want it. But don't you think that we would find other areas to create friction out of to like get more meaning making? Because now it's just like, you know what? I want to become one of the world's, I want to climb every mountain this side of the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's going to be the thing that drives me and my day to day and what I do. But instead of it being like, oh, I have to like literally work 3 minimum wage jobs to like keep my family alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that fundamental shift is like,
Yeah, but then if you're climbing mountains all day, then like what's your family doing? Sitting at the bottom?
They're with you.
yeah, they're with
They're
me
also
climbing.
So
I
they
married
don't,
a
what if
climber.
they don't want to
And my
climb
kids are
mountains?
climbers. So, checkmate.
I don't think that hard is bad. Like
It's gonna
I
be a
don't
long
think
line
that
at the
like
mountain.
having
Yeah.
hard times is
All right,
necessarily
fine.
like bad. Like going through challenges and like problem solving and overcoming like difficult things is like, and doing it as a community or doing it like and having friends to like back you and stuff, like that's not I don't think it's a bad thing to like take away those challenges and stuff. Like that's part of like the human experience. And if you take that away and you're like, okay, everything's easy now, like there's something that's lost.
Yeah, your sense of purpose kind of goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wall-E.
There's a difference. There's a difference between voluntary and involuntary, suffering, basically. One
Yeah.
being good and the other being bad. Like you might be really, I like don't really play any sports, but I like lifting weights, and it's like it sucks. It's really difficult, but I'm choosing to do it. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like rewarding and nice. If I have to do like manual labor that I don't want to do, that's just suffering. You know what I mean? It's not suffering with an end goal. You want to have it to be voluntary. Like you want to do difficult things, have, sort of type 2 fun and overcome obstacles and work towards being a better person. But you don't want to get cancer or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that's not a voluntary thing you're taking on. It's just something you must take on. Not that it won't, make you a better person, but
Well, also
nobody
like
voluntarily do that. And that's basically what we're talking about here is we're removing the involuntary struggles of people. And then people are free to make, themselves as, challenge themselves as much as they want.
but then like how much will they
Which is,
actually
I don't know how
challenge
much.
Yeah,
themselves?
that's what I was gonna say. It's like
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I think personally, I would still be very active. I mean, I might hang out and watch TV once in a while, but I would be traveling and doing just every single thing I've ever wanted to do. I'd probably be like all-time students, just constantly learning as many things as I possibly could. And I think all of my friends would too. I don't really know. There's no one that springs to mind that would just sit at home and do nothing if their financial needs were taken care of.
You know a lot of good people. I can think of a few.
Yeah, I have friends who would be learn for what?
Yeah, be like, go lifelong student.
But I think defining
whatever you want, like whatever. It could be of cooking instead of like math.
I think that's still just like, I don't know. I'm being really pessimistic today, but you're being very positive in like the humanity and the fact that you think people are like curious, that people would like learn, like want to learn about stuff, and like people want to go back to school. Like people aren't saying like don't go to college anymore because because it's too hard to go to college. Like if anything now, like you could go to like like you could go to a community college, like you could go to a state community college for like a pretty reasonable price. And like obviously not everyone can afford that, but like school's not out of the question for a lot of people. It's the fact that they choose not to go because they don't want to continue learning.
Still, I mean, I think the question comes down to is if all of your financial needs were taken care of, what would you do? And your answer for these people, they're not to pick on you, is that they would do nothing and sit at home and like bed. And I really don't think that's what people would do if you freed them up. And again, we have been running this experiment with rich people who have never had to work, and they tend not to just bed rot. I mean,
they like bed rot in the Hamptons.
But
like, these rich people go to the Hamptons all summer and throw parties with each other. Like maybe that's not bed rotting, but that is like still rotting in its own way. Like I don't want to like that is not like a life that I would ever desire, to have like a ton of money and go live in like an exclusive like home community and run a charity for tax.
And I get
you don't have to run a charity.
I get what both.
Don't clip that. I love charities.
Again, if that's not life you want to live, no one is making you do that.
No. Well, I'm not saying like me. I'm saying the aristocrats.
I think in the scenario we're discussing.
They could do.
Here, wait. We're gonna let Norm go.
I really think if you ask people what.
Here, wait. We're gonna let Norm go. I know he's been wanting to say
No.
something.
I'm listening to everything, and I'm thinking like, I think the way I'm thinking about it is like this idea of if you level the playing field, because even in the name UBI, right? Universal is that first word, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you did that, think of every competitive person in your life that you know, every athlete, everyone that is driven literally on competition, and you're now taking that away in every facet, not just athletes, just competitive thinkers, competitive everything. It's like that now it's not necessarily a positive thing that you're saying, hey, now we all don't have to work as hard to get to that level. We can all get there in some capacity. It's going to take hard work in different ways from different people, but just like I'm not just thinking of it in terms of money. I'm thinking of it as like a mindset of, if you told me I can be as equal to you or whoever,
can you make more?
Yeah,
I think you can make more.
Okay, then I guess things would get way more competitive.
Yeah, then if anything, things would go incredibly competitive, and the price of living again would skyrocket. No.
That's the one exception.
Nope. It wouldn't. Whatever, guys.
From just rest.
I think
passionate about my
okay, so I guess my question is, if we're barreling towards we're the wealthiest country in the world, what is utopia? If we're breaking through all this like way with technology and just like how everything's going, what does the utopic version of the United States look like?
Like
this one was
I
harder
feel like
than
that's
rest.
Yeah.
that's different for everyone, I guess.
But if you're trying
No
to
change,
set out a
it's perfect.
blanket, yeah, America is amazing. It's already a utopia.
I love America.
This is as good as it gets, everyone. But what? Yeah, I guess that's like, what is it? It's people being able to like engage with the things they want to in a way that's like meaningful to them, and not like no one's forced into like working things they don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like that right there is it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you think that if people given that opportunity, people would just lay in bed and do nothing.
Hey, and maybe that's meaningful to them.
Yeah, but maybe that's what they want to do. And so it's like, let them.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I would hope that like people go out and like explore facets of life they didn't get to explore before. I don't know that like I necessarily believe that most of the country, if given $10,000 a month, would like continue running their farms. Like, we're also talking about this like living in like a pretty highly educated like city. Like, that's not most of the country, you know? There's a good sector of the country that would buy a lot of guns, probably. With their $10,000.
With all this newfound money, I'm gonna get me some goods.
Yeah.
Let them. Who cares if that's what they want? Go for it.
I mean, yeah.
Has the country done this? Has there been an experiment on this?
Alaska does UBI.
Who does?
Alaska.
Oh.
And nobody lives there.
Well, it's because how much money they make out of their oil. They pay every month.
Huh.
And they seem cool. I haven't heard of too many nightmare stories out of them.
There's nobody there.
A bedrotting epidemic.
I actually think they do have a high crime rate.
Okay.
Bam.
Done so.
I do think that if people had more money, crime would also increase because like it's people have less to do.
Wouldn't you think crime would decrease because everyone now has money finally? I feel like crime is mostly driven by needing more money.
Okay, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. I forgot about that part of crime. I just thought they were going to shoot guns.
Wow, I got a lot of time now. I can start harming people.
So Alaska consistently has one of the nation's highest violent crime rates, often ranking first or near the top.
Not bad, Alaska.
They have too much time and too much money.
They're too rich.
Bam! And it's way too cold for anyone to be happy there. I don't know. I mean, like, I would be like a supporter of said like movement if everyone was like, yeah, $10,000 for everyone. Like, I would be in support of it because I do think like Wes, what you're talking about, like this idea of like people who have to work these like 3 jobs and like support a family and like they don't get to like chase their dreams. I do think that is like something that is a terrible part of like capitalism in the United States. I just like, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying, and I do think sloth would be a much stronger one of the 7 deadly sins. But the truth is, if you ask people, hey, if you never had to work again, what would you spend your time doing? They say I'd spend time with my family and doing the things I love, which may they're doing their hobbies, and like we said at the beginning of this, because we're this is supposed to be about rest, not people would relax more. I forget.
I hear that. I just don't think
You
it's
start laughing
that.
about, oh, this is not about rest anymore.
I don't think it's that blanket.
But yeah, people would do the things they don't have time for. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. Go for it.
Sorry, this was really quick. No, you said that we feel like our hobbies have to. I forget what you said. Our hobbies have to make money. Well, like no, now they don't. So if you don't want to, whatever. If your thing is I like to make blankets, but I don't want to make blankets to sell them, whatever. Now you can just make the ones you want to.
You're just doing stuff more for the love of the game now.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, even looking at that
Yeah.
last analogy used of like, most people, the quote I think was most people would want to spend time with families. It's like percentage based. I don't know how many healthy families exist on. Like, I don't know if it would be that cut and dry of like, I'd want to go do. I get that. I personally, I would absolutely, but I just think it's deeper. I think we can't be quick to say the majority of people would be positive with this and it would be such a win. I just think
I think everything
it's
gets so
heavier.
competitive.
Yeah.
I think it would get really
People be killing each
competitive. I think it would
Truly,
get really.
yeah.
I think it would get dark.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and maybe this
The
is really
purge.
cynical. Like, I think it would. I think like giving everyone a lot of money, like, could do such good things for some people, and like really bring out the worst in so many people.
You'd feel untouchable.
Yeah.
There'd be a certain amount of people that would feel like rules don't apply to me anymore because who can fuck with me now?
Do you
We're
feel like
all-
money reveals people?
for sure?
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have money, there's like a level, it's like a class thing, but it's also a self-worth thing. And it's also like a whole, like a legacy thing. Like, what's your legacy? If you have no money, you have no legacy, right? Like, in a lot of ways. Not
I
always.
disagree.
Not always, but like in now, in today's perspective, 2026,
Mhm.
like, most people feel like in order to sort of like build a life, like you have to have.
But don't you think putting everyone on an even playing field helps with that?
But
Or do you
it's
think it
not
makes it
even,
worse?
right? Because these people still have, the rich people still have
Yeah,
their
they
rich
still rich.
people jobs.
But now there's just
And now
not
they
poor
have an
people who
additional-
are dying because they can't afford to live.
Yeah, but that just like we just made the richer and brought the level up just a little bit.
But I'm fine with the rich being richer if it means it takes the bottom like 40 rungs and brings them up to at least like, hey, this is like a normal, regular welcome to being like a person.
Yeah.
So
I just think logistically,
At the beginning of this,
also
Jack's
logistically, would just be crazy. Logistically, if like everybody's traveling, everybody's doing what.
yeah.
But this is your world.
It's your world, though.
We could have more planes.
Build more planes.
Keep the prices don't go up in plane tickets.
Like at the beginning
But then
of
we're
this,
not
Jack
living
sort
in
of
like a
arbitrarily-
capitalistic society anymore.
But that's, I mean,
At the beginning of this, Jack arbitrarily put in the
For you.
$10,000. I mean, he said not $10,000 a day. I was like, oh, maybe a month. But even that is kind of high. I think you guys would all agree with that if we had universal health care, so nobody had to worry about that.
Mhm.
And then this is all opt-in, right? So if you don't need $120,000 a year, then you just don't get it. Like, you don't say, hey, I need that. But fine, forget the $10,000 a month. How about everyone gets, free food, free housing, free healthcare, and then, $1,000 stipend or whatever. So now you can go off and work and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like,
Then I
Wait,
think you
I'm
get the
super
better
with
world.
that.
Yeah.
buy a bunch of guns. We talked about the first one, universal. We talked about the second one.
I didn't mean that.
That's a great point. That's a really great point.
I mean, I think if that's like the way that we live in society where there's free healthcare, access to food, access to doctors and fresh water, and like, and then you get whatever, like a little stipend. So like, if you really don't want to work, you don't have to, but like everyone's encouraged to work. But now you have more of like an
an
ability
actual
to,
safety net. Yeah.
yeah, like I think
That
that
jobs to afford more guns.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like if you want more guns, then go get a job. Like that's awesome. But like, I think that is like a society and like a utopia that would really like
And if it's
thrive.
the agreed upon necessities and things that we say we would give to everyone, then yeah, that's dream scenario.
Yeah,
fucking
that's like
amazing.
that's. I don't think giving people just like
So
cash.
just a little more is scary.
But I think like it's the idea of just giving people like unlimited money and being like do whatever you want with that money that like makes me very fearful in my like very pessimistic view of humanity
But I think,
that we're
you know what's
learning
weird?
that I have.
'Cause then you not to harp back on this, but it's kind of weird because if you think about, but now think about the people who are making unlimited amount of money.
Mhm.
Are they being sloth-like and doing nothing? I mean, it's like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, who are literally drowning in money, and you wouldn't be like these people are just leeches now.
Mhm.
No, they're working their asses off.
But that's what I'm saying is like, don't you
At
think
least
like
in a different way.
yeah?
But that's because they weren't. I mean, like whatever. But like, it's not like here's your. I don't know. Like I guess
Because at some
sometimes
point
it's like here's your
they're
baseline
they're
of
not
money.
working. Let's be
But, like,
real.
Elon Musk
is not working so hard that he's making trillions of dollars.
Right.
No, but like he's still.
I know people who
working
work
every
harder
day.
than him for sure.
For sure, but like he's still working. He still built whatever Tesla and like SpaceX, and he still like started at some point and was motivated and like worked enough and hacked the system enough to like be making this much
Mhm.
money, which is like not to say like no one should have that much money. Obviously, no one should have that much money.
Except
But,
me.
like,
Except me. Just give me the
unless like
I'll tell you.
yeah,
Unless
like
I make it.
yeah, I'll share. And I'm gonna buy some guns.
Lots of them.
But like they still like built a company. Like it's not like he was just handed Amazon, a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company. It's like they still like built all of that. Like you can't just use them as
But
an
don't
example.
you feel
of,
like then it'll just be the sloth people who end up slothing, who just were sloths to begin with?
Mhm.
But I feel like that's such a small port. Like I feel like that's not most people.
Wait, can we define these sloth people?
The
I got
people who are
lost.
gonna get paid all this and then do nothing with their life.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Those
Those
people.
people.
Sorry.
Guys, who's watching this? I mean, like, those people could go do whatever they want. And I don't know, like, they, like, if you're given, like, a stipend to go, like, live your life and you choose not to leave the house, and that's, like, fine. But I think that in this, like, if you have, like, healthcare and everything, like, that push, like whatever, and you have this safety net, like the $10,000 isn't like, I feel like it's not a safety net. Like people don't use, if you went to a poor part of the United States right now and you gave everyone in the town $10,000 a month for a year, I guarantee you, like, it would not turn into a utopia. There's a whole story where they go and they teach the townspeople, like, they bring them a bull and they teach them how to like farm and irrigation and like use the bull to like help grow their town. And to celebrate, the townspeople killed the bull and ate it. Like, and I'm not saying that like people can't change, but like you give them cash, like they don't know what to do with it. Like you give them $10,000 a month and you say now everyone has to go get a college education and like learn about economics and like
that's the other
all
reality
these things.
too.
Like we're looking at this from such a privileged perspective because we all like, I think we all went to school like in college and like are now living in like a city where the cost of living is like high. So like
To Haley's analogy, if you gave two people in a poor community $10,000 each, I haven't eaten forever. This isn't much of a friend to me. I'm killing him and I'm taking his 10,000. Like no
You're
question.
gonna murder people, Norm.
100%. Why wouldn't I? Why would I not?
Oh God!
I'm just saying that is the mentality of people that are impoverished. Like I'm taking everything. They're doing it without money already. Like it's not.
so
They didn't
funny.
need 10,000.
Alaska.
I'm saying there's.
way more privilege to say that if you did give $10,000 to impoverished people, they would buy guns and kill you.
Norm said that.
They would probably buy houses.
Again, to some would, some wouldn't.
Yes, but
But the bull story is a true story. And like, I'm not saying that they wouldn't buy, like, I'm not saying that they wouldn't buy a house and wouldn't buy food, but like, I think that like giving, I guess now I'm arguing on $10,000 versus healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am like 1,010% backing universal healthcare and like free education and access to food and to clean water, like human basic like living, like things that you need to live, and even like a free like college level education where like everyone has the right to like be educated and to learn how to read. And like in our country, like that is not even the case fully. So like having those things set as like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't give people like $10,000 a month, but if we, instead of doing that, set like basic living human rights things, like that is a better utopia that would push like humanity into like going to chase their dreams or having these like rest and relaxation and like exploring the world. And like now like I don't have to worry about where I get my food versus like maybe like I don't know who's going to bring the $10,000 next month and this guy is looking pretty weak, like you know.
So I think the utopia would then be everything you said, but then we just change human nature.
But do you think human nature has gotten all twisted up given just how like bad
greedy.
it is, and how like, do you think it's because people are shoved into these corners of being like, your family didn't have money growing up, now you don't have money, now you got in trouble for stealing, now you have a permanent record, you can't get a job, you're back into this. Do you think it's just like, I can't help but think like basic needs getting met rises everyone out of this like animal, like I need to fucking survive.
Can we talk about the stimulus checks then? Because they were
the stimulus
in
checks?
theory, the checks you were getting. Like when that was happening, there were
Stimmies.
How many? The stimmies.
I was like snow buddies.
The stimmies, like there were still people gaming the system,
of course,
to make more. And that was on a very low level, and that was just a check. That wasn't like.
I mean, people do that with disability checks right now.
Like shit is still gonna. I'm with you that the dream is that everyone looks around and goes, "Oh, let's go. We're good. Needs are met. We can be perfect now." I just don't think you can introduce that. It would have to be like you wipe out everything, and that's the introduced.
Yeah,
but I think I think there'll be growing pains. Like I don't think it's gonna be like, wow, this is all fixed.
Yeah.
But I think you're setting up generations to come to be like have a moment of like, okay, you can exhale, you can be a person.
I
in
think
this
it's
country
learned though,
without having to like.
You'd have to educate that though.
Yeah, and how do you?
But
like,
I think that would happen.
But are you saying that would happen like if you gave everybody $10,000 a month, or if you gave everybody free education, free healthcare, free food, free drinking water?
Well, I think
because I think
like
those things are very different, and I don't think you can change like human nature now. Yeah, it's fucked up because of capitalism and because of greed and because of all of these like systemic problems that we have in our country. But like, they're systemic problems. Like you can't just like cut it, and like there are roots that are still there. Like you either have to dig out the roots and like completely start fresh, or like find a way to like to push everyone out of this like undergroundness of where like hatred and greed and like all of these like bad things that like really like stimulate society like come from. And I don't think that comes from like cash. Like money has never fixed that problem ever. I think it has to come from like.
The reason why cash.
No, never mind. I'm gonna get political.
reason why cash is more useful is like one, because if you're doing this as a government program, universal like healthcare makes sense and stuff. But a lot of times, like let's say okay, we're gonna do free food or something. Well, a lot of times, like how you offer people economic mobility is with cash. So if I work at a restaurant, but whatever, my catalytic converter's gone, you don't have the department of catalytic converters, and I don't need free food. I can get food from my work or whatever. What I need is $500 to fix my car. Or if I'm in a bad relationship and I can't get away from this person, I don't need free, XYZ. What I need is $1,000 so I can move out to a new place or move to a new city or just get a moving van to move back into my parents' place, whatever. So like,
I
you
mean,
need to
yeah.
offer people economic freedom, and the only way to do that is with money, not specific government supplied goods.
But like, you
Not to
don't
get-
think
not-
that
okay,
the
we'll get
universal
back to
health
rest here.
care? Okay, fine.
So I thought the question was like, what's the
Okay, go ahead.
utopia, not how we get there.
Yeah,
We're just
I agree.
brainstorming.
Yeah, we're just coming up with ideas. We can get to the
But,
bottom
like,
of
okay,
this.
like this
One live stream, we're
this
done.
healthcare-
Everybody happy.
Ah.
Everybody happy. That's it.
Yeah, everybody happy.
Well, listen, I think I've taken up enough of your guys' times. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back.
Good discussion.
How fun.
We'll be back
Super
next
fun,
week.
guys. Thank you.
The question next week is, what have we
No.
lost in the name of convenience?
Ooh.
Think on it.
Call in.
Leave a
Leave us a
voicemail.
voicemail.
Yeah, thanks for playing. We'll see you guys next week.
Sick.
Bye.
Bye, Wes.
See you, Wes.